It's that time again. Smog check, emissions testing in California. So supposedly you will pass without the evap being cleared. That's the only one you're allowed to not have cleared to pass. That's why there's a green check mark. So let's go ahead and find out right now. Let's get right into it. Even without the evap monitor not being cleared, this car still passed California smog test. So I've always known about being able to pass emissions without the evap being cleared. That's why that green check mark is there. But I always like to have everything cleared out just to be sure. But I've been driving this car for 3 weeks, wasting fuel. So I said, you know what, let me go ahead and try it for video purposes. So if this video helped you out, I took the risk and got my car to pass. So if this helped you, give my video a thumbs up and a hype. So I talked to the I got my van smog tested last week, and I talked to the smog test guy and asked him, all right, I don't have evap cleared on one of my cars, will it pass? I've read that if it's not clear, you'll pass. And he said, as long as you're not hiding any check engine lights or there's no permanent codes stored in your computer. So I'm going to show you guys that right now. So I knew I was going to pass because I don't have any permanent codes. So let's go ahead and go to the code reader here, and then I'm going to show you guys a cheaper scanner. This scanner was $50 at Harbor Freight. I'll show you guys a $10 scanner here in a second that you could do the same thing with a cheap scanner. Don't erase anything. But I like this one because it's nice and clear. You could see the screen. So read codes. So pending codes, they're going to look for that. So no pending codes. And then permanent codes. Let's go to permanent codes right there. So no permanent codes are stored in this module. So that's what he told me. I'm glad he was upfront with me to tell me what's going to cause me to fail. So what will cause a permanent code? If you like modding your car and you put a tuner on it, it might potentially have a permanent code. So California is really tricky with modding cars. So let me go ahead and show you guys a $10 scanner right now. Okay, the scanner with the pretty screen, that one's $50. I get it. Sometimes you don't feel like spending $50. How about $10? This one's $10. And if YouTube detects this as an affiliate product, they will tag it automatically. So if you see it tagged and you want to buy the scanner, you'll help my channel out a lot buying this through my channel. So plug this in the OBD2 port, and then you're going to press enter. And then I'm trying to get the good lighting right now. There you go. That's not bad. This angle. So it's going to find the vehicle. See, the screen's not as pretty. But there you go. Codes found 0, monitors NA3. Okay, that's automatic. So let's go ahead and go to I am readiness. That's the important part right there. I am readiness. That's how to know if you're going to pass your smog test. So go to since DTC's cleared. It's looking for it. Where's the good lighting at? Right there. So we'll go down, and it'll tell you all the parameters that are actually available on this car. So NA incomplete, there, that's the evap. That's the one that was incomplete. That one's NA, but all the other ones are going to be cleared. So this does the same thing, it's just not as pretty. See, okay. So just one incomplete, which was the evap. Incomplete. But yeah, it does the exact same thing. So go ahead and get yourself a OBD2 reader. So here's my port right here. Get yourself one of these scanners. That's how you'll know you're gonna pass smog, and you could have the evap incomplete and pass your smog test. So I hope this helps you guys out. If you're a car enthusiast, this is my car that had to get emissions testing. 2015 Fiat 500 Abarth. And here's some bonus footage for you guys. How do you fail California smog test? If you're into modding your cars, you could actually fail modding your car. Let me explain right now. This car is stock, but to celebrate me passing smog, I just ordered an intake. So the only mod I have for this is a blow-off valve right there. I had a Mustang Cobra and I sold it, and I pulled this intake off. I'll sell it someday, but I made sure to pull the California compliant sticker off of it. So if you have modifications like this intake on your car in California, the Smog Tech is going to make sure it's California compliant. So this is what the sticker looks like, and then they're going to look it up to make sure it's the right sticker for the mod. Yeah, I know what you're thinking right now. I've had this car for 8 years. My buddy just picked up a Mazda Speed 3. It has a California approved intake, and man, you could hear that turbo. I want to hear my turbo more now. But my car is pretty much stock other than a blow-off valve, but that doesn't affect emissions, so that's not important. But let's say I added a bigger turbo. Like, most Smog Tech probably can't tell if I add a bigger turbo, but if I did and the Smog Tech knows, see, I have a tiny turbo, but if the Smog Tech knows it's a bigger turbo, they're gonna look for the California approved sticker, and if I don't have it, I will fail the visual. And what do you do when you fail the visual? You got to put the stock turbo back in every 2 years. Yeah, I know what you're thinking right now. So let's say you have a car that's not a turbo or not supercharged, and you add a supercharger or a turbo. It has to be California compliant. It has to have that sticker. Yeah. So remember, if you move states because you're into the modding scene, just remember why you left California. Just remember. So don't bring that thought process to your new home. So there you go. Just gonna get an intake for this thing, and yeah, just leave it as is with the blow-off valve. I just want to hear it more and just enjoy this car. This is year 8 of me owning it. Passed smog test, so now I just enjoy it again. All right, today's topic: California smog test. How to know you'll pass. Don't waste your time. Get yourself a scanner like this, one with an IM readiness key. I got this from Harbor Freight. It was like $55 with coupon. Alright, I'm going to demonstrate right now. This car is loud and this camera is really staticky, so I might have to use subtitles. We'll see. So go ahead and start the car up. Okay, car started up. I am right there. Okay, see that green check mark? That means I'm gonna pass my smog test. Every parameter is checked off. So this is all they do. This is all they look at. So you might run into the problem of this one, evap. Sometimes that's a red X for a while, but the green check mark tends to be there. If you got the evap not ready, California will still pass you if your evap isn't ready, and I'll flash all that up right now. So if you do this and all these are not checked off, you're gonna have to do a drive cycle. This is a GM vehicle, so I'll go ahead and flash up the drive cycle right now, and then I'll flash up the evap not ready in California. They should still pass you if the evap is a red X. So that's it. Get yourself one of these. That'll read your IM readiness, and as long as they're all checked off, you'll pass. And then California should pass you if the evap isn't checked off, because this green check mark will still be there even with the evap not checked off. But if any of the other ones are not checked off, then this is gonna be on right here. So only evap is allowed. Good to go. Everything passed like I expected it to. OBD2, that's all they do. They plug you into a scanner and make sure everything's checked off on your system. That's it. Quick note, if you like to mod your car, you might fail the visual if your mods aren't carb approved. So don't move to California, move out of California. I would love to get long tube headers for this car, but that's an instant fail. So there you go. I don't have to deal with this for another 2 years.